Okay, so then that means I got the last one, which of course you all know and you all love, but no one loves them more than we do. And there's no better way than to introduce this team but by
What's that coming down the track? What's that coming down the track? It's the mean machine in the red and black. It's the mean machine in red and black. Nothing finer in the land. Nothing finer in the land. Than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs! Go Dogs!
that makes me want to jump out of my chair every time I hear it.
Absolutely. Me too, man. Me too. Can't get this show started any quicker, man. I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Dogs, as we know, they wound up finishing the season 11-3, 6-2 in the SEC. Won the SEC championship game at 22-19 in overtime over Texas, which was their second victory over Texas this season. Wound up making it to the CFP and losing in the Sugar Bowl to Notre Dame. The irony. For those of you that aren't following, those of you that may not have been into football at that time or too young to have seen the game, Georgia's first national championship during my lifetime, the 1980 season of the undefeated Dogs. They went 10-0. That was when they were still playing 10 games a season, led by none other than the legendary, the legendary Hershel Walker, a freshman phenom out of Wrightsville, Georgia, who did not win the Heisman that season, which was a shocker to everybody. He did eventually win it. I think it was I don't think they gave it to him until his junior season, which really he still was phenomenal, but that wasn't his best season. His best season, hands down, was freshman and sophomore. But they played Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, and that was where we won our national championship. That national championship. Kirby Smart back for his ninth season. I do believe the winningest coach in the SEC currently, with more than 5 or 6 seasons. More than 5 or 6 seasons. What am I looking at right here? That's that. And then So that's how they finished out the season. And we all know about the problems with the pass game because receivers, we had the most drops by wide receivers that season. Carson, knowing that he did not have the support of his wide receivers, and then what was a hodgepodge offensive line because a couple guys got injured. Tate Ratledge got injured about 4 or 5 games into the season, missed a couple games. So he may have rushed a few throws. He threw more interceptions than he did the prior season. But that somehow or another, the Dogs managed to make it happen. And then, of course, their losses were during the regular season. They lost to Alabama at Bryant-Denny. They lost at Ole Miss in Oxford. And then they did not lose again until losing to Notre Dame at the Sugar Bowl. So moving on to the regular season for 2025. We all know that the Dogs start their season against Marshall. That's a win. That's 1-0, 2-0. Austin. Their next game, the third week, is September 13th. That is when they enter into conference play against the Volunteers at Neyland Stadium. As long as there aren't any golf balls or mustard bottles on the thrown from the stands, I think Georgia comes away from that one with a win. So that's 3-0. And then the date that every Alabama fan has circled on their calendar to include our potential guest, a guest who potentially will be coming on our Monday show that week of the. We may have 2 guests, by the way, sir.
Cool.
And he's got his page back if you want to check him out. So we may have a guest on our show that week prior to the Bama game. I'm going to come back to that one. I'll go through the rest of them. So we're at 3-0. There's a win in Kentucky. A win. Kentucky comes to Athens. That's a win. At Auburn and Jordan-Hare. That's a win. At Ole Miss, I'm giving that one a win. Florida, that's a win. Mississippi State's a win. Texas, I will come back to. Charlotte is a win. Georgia Tech is a TBD. I'm going to say that's a win. So that right now has Georgia at 10-0. And then depending on I'm gonna go ahead and call it. I'm giving Georgia 11-1. It's just hard for me to say if they're gonna lose to Texas or to Alabama. I
Alabama.
think they
Yeah, I mean,
I think they beat Bama in Athens and lose to Texas, which would hurt because both of those are home games, and either way the home streak would be broken.
that's right. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you totally. Those are two question marks for me. I mean, I probably said something different the last week, but yeah, I don't know. And just a fun fact: remember that Georgia Tech game is at Mercedes this year. I believe that's right. That Georgia Tech game. I believe that's right. I'm not sure. In
Yeah.
Atlanta. But yeah, so I'm saying Texas is going to be a tough game. Alabama, I think we do win against Alabama in Athens. So I would, yeah. I mean, I can, yeah, 11-1. I say 11-1, potentially 10-2. Um, I would feel more strongly
Now,
for 11-1 though. So
Now, bear in mind, we're going off of what we know of Georgia from last year. Also, bear in mind some of the things Collin and I talked about last week. There's some depth as far
yeah,
as experienced players on both sides of the ball. And that depends on cohesion. Now, one thing that we know is Kirby is probably hands down the best head coach, actively coaching in college football right now, and he's a master at adjustments, especially second half adjustments. Don't believe me? See Georgia versus Alabama last year. That game wound up being a lot closer than we thought it was going to be after the
yeah,
first half. Um, so those are I'm definitely thinking. I think they get Bama this go around.
I think so too.
Matter of fact, with a little bit of luck and a lot of go dog spirit, they may run the table.
That'd be nice.
I want to believe it. I want to believe it, but we know that our guy, get your popcorn ready. We know he's not one to be trifled with. We know Texas is going to be good, and we know Bama is coming for blood this year after not
Yeah.
making the playoffs last year.
The
As a
uh,
matter of
the only thing that would help that case is we've got more home games than we did last year. So I mean that could work in our favor.
yeah,
Um,
and
yeah,
I think and the reason for that is because we have the home and home now. We have the
yeah,
home and home series. So basically, all the games we played, all the conference games we played last year, we're playing those same teams again this year. It's just they're flipping the stadiums, and we only
yep,
had, dude, we didn't have a home game from like September to almost November, I think, last year.
yeah. That's exactly right. We had a long stretch there.
So yeah, dude, we made really good time tonight coming through this, and we're right up against it. So I honestly, I'm just looking forward to a great season. This episode wasn't specifically about Georgia. We just kind of wanted to talk about the odds of
Yep,
the teams in the conference that were ranked in the top 25 and their potential uh, to make the playoffs. And based off what we just rattled off, right now we're right back to Georgia Texas, a rematch of Georgia Texas in the SEC championship with the undefeated versus the one loss,
yeah,
and with the undefeated with the versus one loss. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to flip that because I said that we were beating Texas when I did Texas on the front end. So the one loss would be to Alabama, but we would still get into the playoffs with an 11-1 record
oh yeah,
and wind up facing off against the Longhorns.
yeah,
So we'll see how that goes if that's how it plays out. That would be something, wouldn't it? We beat Texas and then we play them again. We play
yeah.
them again in the conference championship. That would
That'd be
be
great.
something. That would be
Third time's a
amazing.
charm, baby.
That
Third
would
time's
be
a charm.
that would be absolutely amazing. So that's what we've got right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now next week we're going to start getting a little more in depth because at that point, matter of fact, bruh, we got a show in 4 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Our next show is in 4 days.
Yes,
So
sir.
we're getting ready for the regular season because week 0 is this weekend, and
Yep.
then week 1 is next weekend. So when you see us again, we'll be talking about what we need to do to get ready. I mean, it's not a whole lot that we need to do to play Austin P, but there's some things that we need to focus on and what we'll be looking at. And that with that, ladies and gentlemen, how about that? That's wild.
Yeah.
We actually
Well,
managed to finish on time.
we'll definitely go more in depth next week. We're gonna get in there and go because I'm excited to see our. We've had a lot of activity in the portal. More probably than we have in any season. And seeing the new guys on the team and to see how our receivers are faring. And of course, we got to talk about Gunner, man. We got to see what's going on with him. So, but
Of
we'll do
course.
all that next week.
Of course, of course, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, having said that, how about the air horn for us getting out of here on time today? We got to get the air horn. But that does it for us this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We